Here at Shadow Moor Tales, we've received hundreds, now growing into thousands, of accounts from servicemen all over the world. Thank you to everyone who has shared their stories and continues to do so. And as it turns out, there is no shortage of stories circulating elsewhere either. By now, you've probably noticed that very few paranormal stones have been left unturned. Bigfoot, skinwalkers, massive insects, rakes, man-eating giants, UFO, angels, demons, ghosts, gnomes, werewolves, you name it. Chances are, somewhere out there, a military service member can tell you all about the time they saw something they couldn't explain. Out of all these submissions, one subject appears more than any other: hauntings on military installations, specifically barracks and on base housing. While organizing these stories for future Smoke Pit episodes, I realized that an unusually large number of unsettling encounters all seem to come from one place in particular. And no, it's not Fort Campbell. It's another U.S. Army post, Fort Riley. Located in northeast Kansas along the Kansas River, Fort Riley is massive. Its facilities and ranges span over 101,000 acres, 159 square miles. The installation is home to at least 14 active duty units, chief among them the legendary 1st Infantry Division, the Big Red One, the oldest continuously serving division in the United States Army. But behind its decorated history lies a series of dark chapters. Soon after the fort's establishment in the 1850s, a cholera outbreak reportedly killed around 125 soldiers, construction workers, and civilians. Then, in 1918, Fort Riley became the epicenter of the Spanish influenza in America. With 50,000-60,000 personnel living in close quarters, the virus spread rapidly. While the exact death toll at the fort is unknown, given that the pandemic killed tens of millions worldwide, it's not unlikely that the base saw casualties in the thousands. If nothing else, these mass deaths centralized in one location might explain why Fort Riley is considered one of the most haunted military posts in the country. According to the accounts you're about to hear, some of these hauntings are downright terrifying. This is the Smoke Pit, and these are true stories about strange things at Fort Riley, brought to you by Shadow Moor Tales. The writer begins by describing his room in Building 223, an older barracks with a unique T-shaped layout. He lived on the second floor in the last room on the left side, before the hallway turned toward a fire exit. One Friday night around 10:30 p.m., after returning from the gym, he heard a loud crash from his neighbor's room. That neighbor, who we'll call Kay, was known in the unit for drug use, so at first the writer assumed Kay had simply tripped over something. But then Kay knocked on his door, looking terrified, and swore that a chair had been thrown across his room. They went to investigate. The writer found the chair in the middle of the room, moved it back near the window, and exited, locking the door behind them. Kay, shaken, went across the hall to another soldier's room, B. Moments later, the writer heard the unmistakable sound of the chair dragging across the tile floor in Kay's locked room. When they opened the door again, the chair had moved. Determined to put a stop to whatever was happening, the writer ducked, taped the chair to the bed frame. That's when the situation escalated. As he walked back into the common area, the deadbolt on the door locked itself, and the oven switched on. He and B fled into the hallway as K ran to shut the oven off. Then they saw it. At the far end of the hallway, 30 to 40 feet away, a jet black 2-foot-long, thick tail slipped around the corner, accompanied by a low, rumbling growl. The hallway motion lights shut off as it disappeared. Later, another soldier approached them complaining about noise, and the horrifying realization dawned on all of them. He lived in the direction the creature had gone. Days later, a different soldier revealed that he had a terrifying sleep paralysis episode at the exact same time, 10:30 p.m., directly below Kay's room, a married soldier and his wife moved into on base housing at Fort Riley. On their very first night, they witnessed a dark cloud hovering over their bed. Over the following weeks, the activity intensified. Shadows, voices, knocks, then came the mimicry. Both husband and wife, on separate occasions, heard the other sobbing uncontrollably, only to find them perfectly fine in another room. The entity appeared to be imitating their voices with disturbing accuracy. Soon they began seeing apparitions of each other moving through the house, when the real person was nowhere nearby. The encounters escalated into physical harm. The wife began waking up with unexplained cuts and bruises. Nightmares plagued her. One morning they awoke to find marks on the wall identical to scars from her past trauma. After cleansing the house with sage, protective sigils, and prayers, the activity diminished, but the experience left lasting scars. And there you have it, Fort Riley, a place of honor, history, and shadows that refuse to leave, from chairs moving on their own, to shadowy figures mimicking soldiers, to unexplained knocks at doors. These are the stories of a base that has seen more than just drills and deployments. It's hard not to wonder, how much of what we experience in places like this is tied to the history, the lives lost, the families who once called these buildings home, and the tragedies that left their mark on the very walls themselves. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, the accounts we've shared tonight are from real people, men and women who served, who lived, and who couldn't explain what they saw. And perhaps that's what makes them truly unsettling. The fact that they're real. So if you've had an encounter like this, on Fort Riley or anywhere else, we want to hear from you. Share your story in the comments below or email it to us. Your experience could be featured in our next episode. Thank you for sticking with us tonight. For those who enjoy our tales, remember to like, share, and subscribe, and consider joining our Patreon or channel membership to help support Shadow Moor Tales. May you sleep soundly tonight, and may whatever lingers in the shadows leave you undisturbed. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay curious, and remember, some stories don't end when the lights go out.